Hello, everyone, and welcome to my once weekly show. My name is Michelle Marie, and I am both a Vedic and Western astrologer, as well as a tarot and oracle card reader. And before I bring on the lovely Helen, Irish Granny Tarot, I wanted to go into begin tonight's discussion with a zoom in on the timing that we're living in. And the astrology right now is extremely precise. So we have just moved through a major eclipse gateway. I know you guys are feeling it. On February 17th, we had a solar eclipse in Aquarius Dhanishta Nakshatra. And then on March 3rd, we had a lunar eclipse in Purva Falguni. That's in Leo. So in Vedic astrology, what does this mean? The eclipses reveal what has already been set into motion. They tend to expose a lot of the hidden power structures, secrets, karmic patterns that are coming out that were already operating below the surface. It's how I was able to predict the overturn of Roe v. Wade, COVID, Project 2025, now Project 2024. If you haven't, 2026. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend you do. It goes into what we can expect this year. So these two nakshatras involved in the eclipses, nakshatras are a cluster of stars, are very symbolic. So in Dhanishta, this is connected to wealth, resources, larger collective power systems. And after the eclipse struck, Iran was attacked by the US and Israeli forces, and a main oil passage, the Hormuz Strait, was blocked. So because oil remains our primary energy source, this will impact economies globally. And I made a video on that as well. So Dhanishta, it is the star of wealth. It's connected to basically the things that make us feel secure materially. So we can expect some of those structures to crumble, okay? Then we experienced a lunar eclipse in Purva Falguni. This is in Leo. This represents loyalty, leadership, privilege in the ruling class. So what we're seeing is a complete reallocation of world powers and leadership that's taking place. So leaders are going to fall, new ones are going to take their place. Now, at the same time, we have a very important planetary alignment. Saturn, Neptune, and Venus are all together in Uttara Bhadrapada. If you have any planets in this nakshatra, it's in sidereal Pisces, you're feeling it. Bill Gates is here, for example, and he's on the hot seat. So in simple terms, Saturn represents karma, responsibility, and consequences. Neptune represents illusion, rose-colored thinking, and mass psychology. And Venus represents women, values, relationships, and social harmony. So all of these things are getting hit by Saturn right now, and we're dealing with some karmic stuff. Okay. Now, Uttara Bhadra it's connected to deep karmic endings and spiritual awakening as well. So when all of these energies combine, what we're going to begin to see is illusions dissolve. Okay. So what was hidden is going to start to come out into view, and we're already seeing it. So let's place this into a much larger cycle. The United States, Pluto, aka Yama, return. So Yama, or Pluto, takes 248 years to orbit the sun. That means that the United States reached its Pluto return position when the country was founded since 1776. So 1776 to 2024. That's when Project 2025 came out. So Pluto I associate him with Yama because he's the Vedic lord of death and karmic judgment. And a Pluto return represents the rise and fall of empires. And I talked a little bit about that in the past shows. They force societies to confront their shadow and face the consequences of accumulated karma. So how the United States was founded is how the new regime is going to take over. So what we're witnessing is not just a little political moment. It's a civilizational restructuring cycle. So throughout history, the final stages of these, how do I say this? These empires, they reveal the moral condition of society itself. So when a culture becomes deeply corrupted, indifferent to injustice, history shows that a reckoning will usually follow. So in college, I studied a lot of cultural and mythological traditions. I was a writing, rhetoric, and culture major. And so, and I also looked into the symbolism of the Vedic netherworlds as well. And that's the Eastern philosophy, as well as the Princess of Hell. And that is the Western philosophy. So I'm going to introduce you to one here. Let's see. Now, this is a figure that appears frequently in literature and theology, and his name is Belphegor. He's a demon associated with sloth, moral laziness, and societies that refuse to act in the face of wrongdoing. Sound familiar? As a demon, he is the one who likes to start quarrels, and he's the enemy of anything beautiful and innocent. So in stories where he's invoked, he bestows a lot of wealth and power, and that's the power to make discoveries, the ability to create fantastic inventions like computers, internet, things like that. His role as a demon was to sow discord between people and lead them to evil through the distribution of wealth. Now, this doesn't go for all of our, lovely inventors and things like that, but you can see some people are falling into this kind of this fall right now. So basically, when it comes to this, we see the echoes of this in our own modern culture. There's a serious moral crime, many moral crimes that are happening in the United States. And they're kind of being reduced to jokes, memes. They're on Saturday Night Live. There's references and comments regarding CSA, the ritualistic murder of children. This is all connected to the Epstein files. And it shows how easily societies could normalize these really disturbing and realities. And, I'm all for, laughing and entertainment and things like this, but this is not the moment for it, guys, because it's pretty serious. So I refuse to live in fear regarding these ideas, but history shows that when societies ignore deep corruption, that a dharmic reckoning will eventually follow. So many historians have noted that the decline of empires usually includes a shocking moral breakdown. That's what we're seeing. It started in 2024, technically 2020 because of the Pluto return cycle. And that was when COVID started, and we got to really see some cracks in our systems. Now, I did study Rome and some of the ancient Mesopotamian empires and other collapsing civilizations, and they all record extreme ritualistic practices and darker, lower vibratory energies during their final phases. So whether this is literal or symbolic, these stories really appear when societies reach the end of a cycle of power. So in Vedic philosophy, this is not random chaos that we're going through. It is literally karma unfolding at the level of nations. And that's why we're seeing a lot of people get involved in now a world war. So just to clarify something important, some people have talked about, we are, entering the end of Kali Yuga, the age of darkness. But according to Vedic time cycles, Kali Yuga still has a long way to go. We're only about 5,000 years into it, and it's over 400,000 years long. So what we're experiencing now is more likely the closing of a specific civilizational cycle. This is the Yama return of the modern Western world. This first started with the European colonization in the early to mid 1500s. Then it went into the late to mid 1700s throughout the world, and now we're dealing with it in the 2020s. So civilizations are a lot like individuals. They move through cycles. They go through birth, they go through growth, they go through decline, they go through transformation. And when a cycle ends, like Yama return, the old system cannot continue and something new must replace it. So the United States, like I said, reached the end of its cycle that began in 1776. And when the Constitution and the founding structure was created, there were a lot of things that came along with that. Now, when Pluto returned in February of 2024 and finally began his motion forward, that 248-year cycle was completed. And interestingly enough, we had an eclipse right after that. That was the April 8th, 2024 solar eclipse. And that took place in Ravati Nakshatra. So Ravati is associated, it's the last nakshatra of the zodiac. So it's the very end of Pisces, the last degrees there. So it's associated with those endings and transitions. It's the closing of a long journey before a new one begins. And today, now we're seeing a lot of policy frameworks. Project 2025, I gave a video on Project 2026, definitely check it out. And others from the Heritage Foundation, and they're discussing how governance can operate in the future. So that's what I see kind of taking over. So whenever someone supports or opposes these ideas, they clearly represent attempts to reshape our existing institutions. So you could think it's the best thing ever. It's like, yay, we can, really infuse our Christian values. And there's other people that literally say, oh my gosh, all my rights are gone. So again, if you support these proposals, just remain as you are. if you don't, it's really wise to stay informed, make thoughtful decisions for yourself and your loved ones moving forward. So before we move into tonight's discussion, I want to share a spiritual tool that we can use for navigating cycles like this. So on March 13th, we have an Anagaric yoga in Aquarius. That's when the North Node, who causes eclipses, and Mars, the warrior planet, get together in the sky. And this alignment is connected to a really intense Martian energy. Just Rahu just blows up whatever planet he's next to. He makes it so much bigger. So a powerful mantra during this time would be to Narasimha. And I'll go ahead and give it to you and then give you the meaning behind it. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Whew. And Narasimha, excuse me. This, what this does is it invokes, and I'll show you a photo of him. He is half man, half lion incarnation of Vishnu. And according to the story, there was a very powerful demon king named Hiranyakashipu. There he is there. And he believed he had become invincible. Now, he did a lot of austerities to invoke Lord Brahman, and then Lord Brahman had to give him a boon. And so he created conditions where he could not be killed by neither human nor animal, neither at day or night, neither indoors or outdoors, or by any type of weapon. So his young son, Prahlada, here's him there, he remained devoted to truth and divine order, which really upset his Asurya king father because he wasn't worshiping him. He was worshiping Vishnu. So then the demon tried to destroy his own son. And then Vishnu appeared as Narasimha, and he was neither man nor animal because he was half beast, half man. He carried him to the threshold, neither inside or outside, at dawn, neither day nor night, and used his claws and teeth to annihilate the father who was going to kill his son. So this restored a lot of the cosmic balance in the world. So what does that tell us? That tells us that the story is reminding us of something very important, of something very hopeful. When arrogance, cruelty, or corruption believe that they become untouchable, Dharma will find a way to come in and restore balance. So we can rely on that. And so this is a time not to be in fear. It's a time to, develop some courage, some awareness, and some devotion to truth, especially regarding your spiritual practices. And with that, I would love to welcome tonight's guest, the lovely Helen of Irish Granny Tarot. Helen brings a lot of intuitive insight and a lot of fascinating areas. Like she was talking about all the books that she's reading before the show. This woman is so intelligent, you guys. She goes into history, metaphysics, philosophy, current events, collective psychology, UFO, UAP encounters, dream interpretation, true crime mysteries, old Hollywood and literature, near-death experiences. And she has a really rare gift of making these topics really entertaining and thought-provoking. So I'm very excited for tonight's conversation, and welcome Helen to the show.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm laughing. They are entertaining.
They are. Yes.
I'm sitting here. Thank you for the kind words. I mean, talk about hyperbole. I'm sitting here listening to you talk. Could you see me while you were talking?
A little bit, but I was kind of I was looking at the charts and stuff that I put together. So
because I look like a bobblehead doll. I was agreeing with you. Yeah, this is a very strange time, and I've been on a personal journey of evolution. I don't consider myself an expert on anything. I'm learning, right? And people ask me all the time, are we going to be okay? Is everything going to be all right? I'll tell you, the only thing I know for sure is that we're here to understand that we're not our physical bodies. We're here to understand we are a spark of the divine.
That is correct.
And everything that happens, and I know this sounds terrible. I'm not dismissing things. I freak out as much as anybody else. But everything that's happening now is really irrelevant in the larger spiritual picture. How we react is what matters. And we're not our bodies. And overcoming that biological desire for survival is really our biggest challenge, I think. You know, we're going to go on and do something fabulous. And so, yes, we're going to be fine. Does that mean bad things aren't going to happen? Oh, I wouldn't say that. You know, I'm always so cheerful. It's a hard time, but we're here on purpose. We're here by decision, and we're here to learn hard lessons.
Yeah, we are. And you know that this is a plane of suffering. It's called Mrityaloka, the place where all things die. That's why these biological bodies, they're not meant to last forever.
Yeah.
And when people are fighting over resources and taking them from other people, they're literally fighting over death. I mean, it's just like, you know, you don't get to take any of this stuff with you. And your vibration when you leave this plane is you leave the body, and how big do you want your light to be? How light do you want to be? Where do you want to go? And what's really beautiful about Vedic philosophy is, you know, even the hellscapes are beautiful places. Like they have to go through a little bit before they get there to learn their lessons. But once they get there, it's like heaven for them until they use up all the good things that they did in their birth, because we all do good and bad. And then they have to come back into a human body and learn more things. And what I love about it is that some people merge into the divine through fear. I learned that through the Ramayana. And some through love. But if you're thinking about the divine at death, you merge. So I kind of like that. And when I say divine, it'd be your Ishtadevati, your divine entity of choice. And so when I learned that, it was like, oh, wow, that's really merciful and really good. And another thing that I've been looking at is a lot of, you know, people that are born during eclipses, like Donald Trump, like Ted Bundy, like, you know, I could name a whole bunch, but they're usually the product of inbreeding. Like Ted Bundy.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. So, and I mentioned the demon of the day, and he was a lot like my ex, and I found out that he was a product of inbreeding. You know, so I just thought that was really interesting.
So interesting.
Yeah. And Bulbasaur is usually on a toilet, and that's all my ex wanted to do was hang out in the bathroom, so he didn't have to do anything. You know, it was just
well,
weird.
you know, if you think about inbreeding, what you're talking about is a small selection of DNA joining together, right? So you're intensifying characteristics and traits because you're getting a double dose of the same thing. I know this is very unsophisticated explanation, but you're concentrating the bad juju is what you're doing. And so why wouldn't you end up being a freak? Yeah.
Well, and you know, a lot of world leaders are doing this too. They're marrying their first cousins and having children with them. And I'm just going, you want to end your line? That's the way to do it. I mean, the royals back in before Elizabeth, like the first Elizabeth line, it wasn't great, guys.
Well, I didn't want to say anything.
The second one is better. Yeah.
Diana is actually a cousin of Charles, not a first cousin.
Really? Oh, okay.
They only breed with their own kind.
Well, that's not good for the kids. But I mean, I know that first cousins and up are what they don't recommend. But oh my goodness, yeah. So I think it just kind of creates a crack in the cycle and ends lines, things like that, because I think that we're coming through a new line of leadership, and it's going to be interesting who takes over. Like I said, it looks like the Heritage Foundation is stepping up because they're backed by trillionaires at this point. So
they're behind all of this.
Yeah.
The people that are funding them are behind all of this.
Yes. Yes.
And there's really not a lot of difference. They would deny this, but their ultimate kind of goal, you know, Opus Dei, the New Apostolic Reformation, the Heritage, all of these groups all have that. They're delighted with what's going on in the Middle East. They are welcoming the apocalypse, you know.
They think it's going to be the second coming of Christ, which is hilarious. Right. In Vedic philosophy, they believe that Kalki comes back on a white horse with a flaming sword.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
You think? Yeah. And then, if you can find all of the philosophies and stories are connected. But if you're into astrology, you can actually depict when it's going to happen. We're just at the beginning of Kali Yuga. And so right now, this is just the end of a particular cycle. And then things are going to reset for about 248 years, 246 now. And then we're going to have a whole new world order.
Who knows what that'll be? You know, know when something is true for me because it resonates when I learn about it. And I've been reading about Gnosticism, and it talks about all of this stuff, all these stories, the Old Testament, the New Testament, old Jewish, Judaic, Mosaic, all of it. It's all allegorical, and what it's talking about is turning your back on the physical and embracing the light of consciousness. All of it is symbolic. And so the meaning is being lost.
Yeah.
It's really disturbing when you look at what's going on and how it's being interpreted. It's
that's
holding us all back.
Yeah, that's what Kali Yuga is about. It's the rise of tamas. Tamas is inertia, sloth, like all of those 7 deadly sins that we talk about.
God, I love those. Those are my favorite sins.
Yeah. My goodness. Well, these are the ones that, are just in your face, and they're not in Satyuga where gods are walking around and just blessing us and we can see out of our third eye after, meditating for a minute. This is a time of darkness. It's a time of a lot of, kind of gross material, spiritual feel. And so we have to, but the beautiful thing about it is when we do mantras, when we do prayers, when we focus on our divine Ishta, which is our divine God, goddess of choice, then we can merge a lot easier. We can rise a lot higher because it's so much harder to do that during these times because we get
that's the challenge. Yeah, you don't want to be a good German. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be. You want to be Dietrich Bonhoeffer. You want to be Arendt. What's her name? The writer Arendt, philosopher. Well, it doesn't matter. There are Viktor Frankl. You want to be the person who rises to the moral challenge. That's really hard.
It is. Yeah. It is. But the people that are the antagonists in the play, the Iagos, they are here for a reason too. Like I looked at Donald Trump's chart, for example. He's born during an eclipse. He's got Kalsarpa Yoga. He's Niragandanta, and he's of the demonic realm. And I looked at that and went, he's doing a fabulous job.
He's living true to kind. Did you say Iago is a demon? Iago?
No. I was just doing a Shakespearean reference. Like enter the.
Okay. Because I was going to say, wasn't that interesting?
Yeah, there's the protagonist and the antagonist. Yeah, we're just doing like we're in the divine play. So. Yeah,
I have a daughter who was born on Donald Trump's birthday, and it kills her every year. I always remind her,
she's younger though, so she wasn't born during the eclipse. So that's
she was born in the 80s. Yeah, she wasn't. Yeah. No, she's not as old as he is. Yeah, how old? That would make me 1,000,000 years old. No.
Oh, well, I want to say hi to some lovelies coming in the audience. Guys, go ahead and get your questions in. Rachel and Rhoda, you're the first two because you tipped. So the lovely Venus is here. Thank you for being the mod with the most, Venus. BD is here. I went ahead and got your question in. Sybil is here. Lovely to see you. Thank you for saying hi to everybody. Divine timing. Lovely to see you, Rhoda.
These names are great.
Aren't they? I know. I know. So many creative people in our community. The lovely Garnet is here. Lovely to see you, Garnet.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
David, I'll go ahead and get your question in, but try to make it a little bit more around the energy, okay? Because I don't want to put people's names up on the screen that aren't being asked to be read, okay? And then I'll go ahead and put that up there. All right, let's see. Dark Crypto, have a great night. Universal Joyce, Narasimha, yes. Oh, yeah, I love that you know Narasimha. It's one of my favorite tales. It gives me a lot of hope that we're protected when we're focused on our our spiritual practices. And then the lovely Risa is here. Good to see you, Risa.
Oh, goddess. I had no idea. If I'd known, I would have dressed up a little more.
We're both goddesses, Helen. We're all goddesses. We're all from the goddess. Yeah. All right. And then Jane, the seeker, is here. It is lovely to see you, Jane. Welcome, welcome. And let's see, she goes, she's in her session today. I asked to feel spark of divine. That's beautiful.
I like that. Yeah.
And then Garnet, the Pilgrim's Progress. Okay, yeah. And then the lovely Susan is here. Good to see you, Susan. And yes, you, I know. Yeah.
Boy.
The demon kind of energy going around. I get it.
Oh God, it's
And,
exhausting. Isn't it exhausting, or is it just
yeah, but that's what they're trying to do. So, we're not going to let them do it.
well,
And then Jane, why are people wanting the end so bad? I just want Mama Earth to go. I agree with you, Jane. But some people, misery loves company. So, and
the fundamentalist Christians, they want Jesus to come back because they think they're going to get their heavenly reward and all their enemies will be published. Jewish people are waiting for the Messiah to show up the first time, and they think it'll happen in the same way. And then there is an expectation on the part of Islam, and I read about it the other day, but I forget what it is. I have to look it up. There's a term for it, but they too have an expectation that if we go through this process of disaster, there's this spiritual reward at the end. That's why.
Yes, that is, yeah, that's history shows that. So the red dragon on a warship star my UK sent to Gibraltar. Okay, do you know anything about that, Helen?
No, I mean like there's an emblem or a symbol.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's about the Chinese New Year.
I don't know. I know because this is the year of the fire horse, I know, so.
Oh, well, the fire, isn't that the dragon, kind of?
The dragon's a little different. The horse is, yeah. And then there's an element and there's an animal. So we're fire horse. And it's every 60 years that it comes back.
I'm a horse. And
it's your year.
No, it's not a good year for horses. My friend Nate did a whole thing on it, and he's also a horse.
Oh, okay.
And we're both like, oh.
Oh, I'm a boar. So, and then my husband's a tiger. So.
What are you?
I'm a boar.
A boar?
Pig, boar.
I don't find you boring at all. I mean, I couldn't believe you said that. He's a tiger.
Yes, but apparently that's the best for marriage. So yeah, yeah. So, and then I love that your Ishta Devata has Nirahim Simha. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful one to have. And then yes, Helen is a goddess too.
Oh, thank you. That's okay.
Okay, Susan, I'm getting your question in. Thank you, darling. And we're all from source, 100%.
That's right.
Salama, good to see you, dear. I'll get your question in for you too. Yeah, there is a connection between Muhammad and Jesus. That is correct. I've learned about that. Yeah. And then King Arthur Avalon return is what it has to do with. Okay, thank you for letting us know, Garnet. I'll have to look that up. I haven't heard that. Oh, Reese is a snake. Okay, very cool. So we just came out of a snake, I believe. So
I wonder if that snake is symbolic the way it was originally in Western mythology. Snakes and serpents represented goddess.
Oh yeah, like Wadjet in the Egyptian fables, the Naga priestesses, and they're the keepers of occult secrets in Vedic philosophy.
That's why St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. He tried to get rid of the goddess religions.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't.
That would be like the herbalists and the midwives and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Pagan, female-dominated belief system.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. And then Jane says you're a metal ox, and Venus is a dog. Very cool. I love that you guys all know your signs. That's great.
Who's got the puppy there to prove it?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and then Jane says, I just wrote a poem about snakes and lizards. It was about the desert. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah,
I know that in ancient Egypt, the snakes were seen as the divine keepers of, divine feminine spiritual knowledge. And if you look at all of the pharaoh's crowns,
that's right,
a cobra coming out of it, and that's goddess Wadjet. And she represents the protection of kings, and she also represents the third eye and the eye of Horus and the eye of Ra. So it's the divine eye of kings. So yeah, I read a little bit about her.
So many connections, aren't there? I mean, really, they all overlap. Yeah.
Sybil's a tiger too. I get along really well with tigers. Apparently, they're like, I didn't think so because I'm a pig. Wouldn't you eat me? But no, we get along great. So
it's symbolic. It's okay.
It is. Tigers are fiercely independent. They're workaholics. At least mine is, and I'm very home comfort, clean house and a good meal on the table when you get home. I'm good with money, things like that. So we're a good combination. So
yeah, in Western astrology, I'm a Taurus, and I mean, I don't like to rearrange furniture. I like everything always to stay the same. Not a good quality.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And then Ashleisha Nakshatra animal. Okay. Yeah. And so Rohini and Mrigashira are the female and male cobra. And Ashleisha is the mind of the snake, but its animal is the male cat. So yeah. Yeah. Ashleisha is a very interesting. That's where my Mercury is. So it's and it goes into Ravati. So in my Navamsha.
Now you've exceeded my language ability in astrology of any kind.
Oh. Well, let's see. Oh, Sybil says she's a Taurus too.
Tauruses are the best.
Yes, yes. That's my rising in Vedic. I'm feeling separated from this world. That's why I wrote about being in a desert. The earth needs deserts. That's true. Yeah.
Okay. Feeling a little separate from the world, I'm beginning to think that that's kind of a good thing, because we're supposed to recognize that the physical is an illusion and we're not a part of it. We're just here to learn from it. So, if you feel a little bit of distance from what we call reality, you might be on the right path.
That's true. That's true. So Rhoda, you're first, divine timing. Go ahead and get your question in. And then lovely Rachel, go ahead and get your question in. Susan, I have your question. You are the third tipper. So thank you so much, you guys. I'm doing a Google Ads campaign, so I'm trying to figure. I appreciate you guys donating to my marketing. So yeah, I know. A lot has changed because now Google Gemini is running it. And so I went in going, oh, I'll just put this campaign together. And I'm like, what is this performance audit? What is this going on? It's like Gemini's running it now. And so I've got to totally change
What is the campaign for?
Well, it's for my website. So
okay.
Yeah. So people go to my website and book readings. So I don't do a lot. I don't put anything on YouTube just because this is kind of like this is where I show people that I know what I'm talking about. I'm not looking for the views or the clicks. I'm looking for just people to connect with. So I don't buy a lot of stuff, and I don't do ads or anything, but I do a lot for my website. So that's kind of where
I make quite a few videos, but it's as a favor to my family, because if I don't do this, I rant and rave at them, and they don't want to hear it anymore.
Oh my goodness. Well, I love talking with you. You're so intelligent. So, all right. So the lovely Rhoda, you are first. And let's see, what animals do I need to hear them about? Okay, what messages, excuse me, I was reading someone else's thing. What messages do I need to hear the most right now?
Oh, right now. I didn't know what that was. Okay.
Right now. All right. You got it, Miss Rhoda. And yes, Universal Joy Tishi. Shlisha's yoni animals the male cat. Univarso yoni animals the female cat. That's right. Yeah. My husband and I, we're both cobras. I'm Rohini and he's Mrigashira. And so we have that Kundalini kind of energy going on. So it's kind of fun. Okay. Miss Rhoda, I know you just started your new position. Congratulations on that. Excited for you. Lots of new things coming your way. Okay, you can go anytime, Helen, if you get.
Okay. Yeah. So I got the Two of Coins, some decision coming up, right? And I think it has to do with making an intelligent decision, making a rational decision, taking your time, and before you jump into things, really weigh what it is that you're choosing or deciding on. And this just reiterates that. This is about looking for inner knowledge. So trust your gut instinct and really give yourself the opportunity to dig deep into your knowing, your inner knowing.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so that does kind of go into what I'm looking at here. So the first thing I got for you, Miss Rhoda, was I got the 9th house, and you mentioned that you're doing some training in Denver, and I did see those beautiful photos that you have of the snow. So this represents travel, usually by plane and so I was going to ask if you were thinking about traveling, and that's what you're doing. and you have a new job in another state. So you're kind of in between right now. There's the weather balloon. So you're just kind of floating from place to place and figuring out how to best move forward. Now, as you do this, I did get temperance, but it came up reversed. This is a card of like some disunion, some conflict of interest that are going on. So it's important that if you experience any hostility or people not really getting along, just know that through moderation, through temperance, through not really taking on the issues of others, you're going to fly right through this. Okay, this is how you deal with it. I went to my Mahabharata oracle. I got the impartial card. Okay, so if you look in behind Balarama here, there's a war going on. And what's he doing? He's just farming. He's tilling the soil. He's just being Balarama. Okay, and he's feeding both sides. He's feeding the Pandavas and he's feeding the Kauravas. The Kauravas are the demonic army, and the Pandavas were represented by Krishna, who's Deva energy. And so he's literally just feeding both sides, and people go to ask him what his opinion is, and he goes, I'm here to farm and feed people. So I'm just here to do my job. So if there's anyone trying to start some drama or discord or anything like that, then, just be impartial to it. I'm working as an outreach for the house I was living in. I'm getting paid for the things I was doing already. That is fantastic. I love that. So yeah, that's the only real warning I have for you in starting a new job. There might be some people who kind of test you with really a little bit of gossip, or they're just a little unbalanced. Okay, but you just do your job. You do it well, and you're going to be just fine.
Can I say something about the temperance reversed?
Yes.
Oh, as a Taurus, anytime you're moving, physically moving or moving positions in job, you feel discombobulated, and it's kind of I think a reassure. I don't mean to read your card for you, but that's the gut feeling I got, was just kind of a reminder. You will feel discombobulated. You'll feel, things are a little in flux and change, but it'll be okay.
Yeah. And I know that whenever you start a new job, people in the environment always kind of test you, and they start to form alliances and things like that. That's when, So it's good to just do you. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for letting us tap into your energy, dear. And Miss Rachel, I am not seeing you in the chat or your question. I'm going to go on to Susan. Once you come in, dear, go ahead and put your question in, okay? All right, Miss Susan, I'll be looking for see me down here. I'll be looking for a very important person to oversee my care moving forward, like a really involved person with the right checks for my naturopathic and other natural and alternative therapies, as well as things related to wheelchair and other issues. I think I need a professional rather than someone I know, and I'll need them to really get my vision for the nonprofit, the book, the ministry, social media platform, community retreats, etc. Woo! To act for me when I can't, and even if I can't. Okay. And then let's see. So you're looking for an important person. Let me see if I can just tell you about here. So you just and my brother is okay. That isn't it. Okay. So let's see. What's the rest of your question, Susan? Is it just about the energy of trying to find a person?
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's what I got too. So thank you, Rachel. And Jane says, my mom's a Taurus. She'll be 93 in May. Woo!
Oh my God.
We're going to be around forever. Good genes. And your mom does kind of look like Jody Mitchell.
Pardon me?
Her mom looks like Jody Mitchell. She's adorable. Yeah.
I got great cards.
Good.
I'll tell you what, I'm the right person to ask about this, because I did care. I did nursing care.
Me too.
At home for people. You did too?
I did. I was an in-home nurse. Yeah.
So that you're better off not having somebody who's related if you can do that, because the emotional entanglement is heavy. It's hard. Shall I go?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm still pulling.
So you're facing, I get the impression from this Ten of Swords, you're facing a lot of issues. We'll just use the word issues. The Wheel of Fortune, this is a karmic situation, but it's okay. I mean, this is probably difficulties, but they're providing you with the opportunity to grow, so that it's actually a good thing. It's most important that you find somebody compassionate And I do believe you will, the high priestess. I think you will find somebody who resonates with you, who really has care in her heart, and who will really gel, I guess is the right word, gel with your personality, and prioritize the things that are important to you. It's hard to find a good caregiver, but I think you're on the right track. I think you will.
Oh, love that. Yeah, I got similar cards. The first thing I got was the seventh house. So this represents your relationship with your hubby. You happy anniversary. That was happened on the March 2nd. So that's awesome. He's very helpful when I see this card. This tells me that you can really rely on him for support and helping you get things done. I think it's important that you take some time to rest, because I got the Four of Swords. She's nesting here. You've been really, they were showing me you've been going a million miles an hour. You're getting a lot of downloads, a lot of energy coming your way, which is absolutely fabulous, Susan. But you need to take a rest. That way your ideas can meld a little better when it comes to moving forward. Okay.
Yeah, it's like that Ten of Swords, you feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And you just need to take the time for mental rest. Okay, whatever that looks like for you. And then I got the Emperor. Okay, so this is someone who it's a benevolent form of power. Now, it didn't come up upside down. Yay. So this is someone with a lot of leadership, some charisma. They can provide a lot of structure and protection in and around your environment. This is a very authoritative person. So that's going to bring you the stability that you need in order to get all of these systems and things that you're working on, fortified. And so this is a very institutional card. So I love this for you. It's going to add some balance to your life. The only kind of imbalance that I see is I did get the Princess of Cups, but she came up reversed. So it's important that this could be you a little bit. This is kind of a fear of the future, unprocessed trauma, things kind of coming up, but this could also be someone that you might end up interviewing as well. Okay, this is a very ungrounded person. They kind of have a fear of rejection, fear of the future. They can be emotionally abusive, things like that. So make sure to ask the right questions and really rely on that beautiful intuition to make sure that you're getting someone who is empathic, who understands you, your needs, takes on that more emperor quality without being emotionally immature. Okay.
Somebody kind of take charge, who's organized and who can get things done, right? Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Because I did get the Three of Pentacles, but it came up reversed. So it's important that you find someone that cooperates with you really well, that their heart is in the work, and that they're not overly seeking approval or avoiding taking those necessary steps, or that they don't feel they're just there because it's like, well, I'm here because I don't have another job, something like that. So just make sure you go for that emperor personality and you avoid someone whose heart is not in their work and who's not really there for the right reasons. And I think you're going to do great. Okay. So I love that Helen got the high priest. Yeah, relying on your intuition when you're interviewing is so key, because you want to make sure that it's a good fit. Like, I was a nursing assistant for a gal named Clara. She was 91 and I was 19. And she was an English teacher, and I was studying writing, rhetoric, and culture in college. And she had this huge library. And she caught me reading once. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And she goes, oh, no, what are you reading? And I'm like, oh, Yeats. And she goes, what else? And I'm like, E.E. Cummings.
My favorite.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And like William Butler. And I was just like, I love your library. And she goes, pick any book off the shelf. And it was like a whole wall, like
dream job.
Like 1,000 books on this wall.
And
so I picked one out, and it was Shakespeare's sonnets. And I started one, and she finished the whole sonnet. She goes, pick another one. And she could do it with every single book.
Oh my God.
I know, we got along so well. And she had lions all over her house. And I go, are you a Leo? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, I'm a Western Leo. And she goes, there's only room for one queen in this castle. And I'm like, honey, I help you up and off your throne every day. You are the queen, okay? I am your servant.
I love working with the elderly, except I have to be careful now because I'm rapidly approaching working with myself.
Yes. Well, we're all there. I'm taking care of Jonathan now. Like, I was actually, my specialty was dementia and Alzheimer's, and my husband has dementia.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like full circle. Yeah. So I get to take care of him now. And it
no
really
such
is.
thing as coincidences.
No, it was my first W-2 job, was working as an in-home nursing assistant. And then before him, I took care of we helped take care of his former partner. I mean, I'm kind of the caretaker. That's kind of my my sidereal sun is in Cancer. So anyway.
I've taken care of 3 different neighbors as they died, as they got
Mhm.
elderly and then sick and then died. The neighbors see me coming, they lock their doors and close the curtains.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay, Risa, I'm getting your question in. And yes, Jane's turning 65 on Thursday.
Oh.
Yay. That's so awesome. Congratulations, dear. You
Happy
finally get
birthday.
Medicare. Yes.
Have a piece of
I'll
cake
just send
for
you
me.
a channel that I follow. He goes into like Medicare, Social Security, the whole thing. He's really good. His name's Ed. Is it Ed Wise or Ed? Anyway, I'll send it over to you. Okay, and then Venus says, we had another caregiver fill in for my client. It was her first time. She went upstairs and went to sleep as soon as she got there. I left my client downstairs.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Malpractice. That's horrible.
That's not good. Well, I'm glad that you were there, Venus, you know, and you showed up to help. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's get to Rachel's question. Rachel asks, I just got home from tour. I did my best to reacclimatize, feeling kind of mixed. I'm seeing a townhouse tomorrow that looks good. Any cards surrounding the energy for tomorrow or the trip would be these or things or what? Okay, so do you want to do, well, we'll just look at the townhouse. Is that okay, Rachel? Just the energy in and around that? Okay. Townhouse. We want to make sure this place has good juju. Rachel has not had the best luck when it comes to real estate. So, okay. Hey, sweetie, can you put the bedroom light on? Oh my goodness. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let me go here. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't need a novel, guys. Holy cow.
Are you going to be renting? Is that what I'm seeing here? Or are you
Yes.
renting?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's renting. Thank you, babe. Okay. All right, Miss Rachel. So the first card that I got was, I got the 3rd house. So you're going to want to communicate a little more about this before moving forward. I did get that something really good is coming your way, but I'm not getting the best cards for right now. I think the main reason for that is we have some crazy energy going on astrologically right now. And so you might be best just to kind of wait, because I know that you do have time to look. The reason I say that is I did get the Hermit. Okay. And this is basically just withdrawing, finding some inward answers through meditation and things like that. Try to get away from the noise of the world so that you can, and actually they're saying that's the kind of place that would be good for you, a place that gets away from the noise of the world. That's what I just heard. But yeah, take out some time for just looking for that inner guidance, and don't go out right now. That's what they're saying. Okay. The reason I say that is then I got the Emperor, but it came up reversed. So what this tells me is that there's some insecurity. You're taking on way too much responsibility right now. You're not able to really step into something this big right away because you have some things coming your way that are going to require a lot of your time and energy and a lot of your responsibility. So right now is not the time to make the investment, at least in this place. I did get the abundance card. So you do have some abundance coming. Yay. This is God Kubera. Kubera represents all of the good material things in life. But what came up after that was the reprisal card. This is Amba. Now, this is someone who tried to get back at someone who wronged her at any price. She basically did a bunch of austerities for Shiva so she could be reborn as a man and get back at a guy. Okay, so I'm getting that if you step into this now, you might regret it. It will be coming. It's good. Okay, but now is the time to kind of take a step back, go into hermit mode, and try to just be responsible for the things that are already on your plate. Because when I get the Emperor reversed, it just tells me that you've got a lot of stuff that you're responsible for right now. Okay, sweetie? I'm excited to see what
I got really similar stuff. It's kind of weird. I got the King of Wands and the World, I think these two go together. Like this
Mhm.
is what you have been living in, a
Yes.
situation with a lot of structure and command and order. And I don't know if you've been traveling. When you said tour, I don't quite
Mhm.
know. Okay. So what I get for the future as far as finding a home, a little bit longer to wait, just a little bit longer. The Three of Wands, it's in the future and it's coming, and it's a hidden gem, the Queen of Cups. I think you want to really listen to your heart, pay attention when you think, oh, I'm being too picky, or the doesn't feel right, the mood is not, whatever, the energy doesn't feel right. Listen to your heart. You will find something, but don't be impulsive and pick the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know about the one that you're going to look at tomorrow. Maybe this is the you've already waited. I don't know.
Oh. Okay. So she says yes, military band.
Oh, what does she do? You know what she plays?
She sings and plays violin. You can find her on YouTube. Some of her videos have millions of views. She's amazing. Her voice is operatic. It's beautiful. Yeah, and she can play the
Oh, I
violin.
will
She also
look.
teaches violin too. Yeah. Yeah, if you just look up, well, I don't know if I can give you your name, but it was just right here, Rachel Rose Farber, and then just type in the
I'm
video.
going to write that down because I am going to.
Yeah, she's a really, I can
Because if I don't write it down, I won't remember.
Yeah, she's amazing. So, okay. And she goes, don't go on YouTube. LOL. You're amazing on YouTube, Rachel. And she is so talented.
Don't be shy.
She's being very modest.
Yeah.
And she has been waiting for a while. It has a fenced-in yard. Well, that would be good for a puppy. But like you said, you're exhausted from tour. Just give it a little bit of time. Okay? Take a little break. Okay. And Minorna, I went ahead and got your question in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Let me see if we have any more tips coming in. All right, we're going to do lightning round. So let me see here.
I'm feeling the pressure.
Woohoo! BD, are you here? Check in, BD. Let us know if you're here. David in Maui, let us know if you're here. You're going to have to re-answer your question, okay?
Are we answering this one right here that I can see?
And then, yeah, we have to see if they're in the audience first. So BD, are you here? And then Rachel says, I'm ready to move. P.S. I'm so sad coming back today. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's going to be okay.
Change is hard.
Yeah, her familiar passed away. So she comes home to an empty house and it's emotional. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
been there. Yeah.
I totally know what you're going through, sweetie. So is BD here? Are you here? Not seeing you. All right. Salama, are you here? Please check in.
Oh,
Are
first,
you
second,
here?
or third?
Let us know. Sybil, are you here, Sybil? Please check in. So Salama and Sybil. Oh, BD is here. Yay. Okay. And then Salama is here. Okay. Would you like BD or Salama? Let me go ahead.
Is Salama the one who wanted to know about jobs first, second, or third?
Yes.
Because I pulled number one. I was just going to do 3 cards and just
see.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So you can Salama.
So I already started. I already had the energy going. Yeah.
You got it. Woohoo. All right. Here we go.
Shall I go ahead?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So for number one, I got the 9 of Wands reversed. So you might be in a job environment where you feel yourself kind of on the defensive with fellow employees. I don't know. Number 2, the Sun. That's very positive. And then number 3, the King of Swords. I don't know about that boss. You might want to look into that. I don't know. Number 2 sounds good according to the cards. The Sun, I mean, that's one of my favorite cards. You get the Sun, you can feel pretty good about something.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So basically,
they make you take tests to apply for a job.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Wow.
Yeah, she goes, wow, thanks. Okay, you're so welcome. Yep. Okay, Sybil is here. Thank you for letting us know, dear. All right, so I'm going to have BD. I've been feeling off. Is there anything I'm thinking about? Okay, so the first thing I got was the eighth house. You're going through major death, rebirth, transformation. I actually just did a short on the eighth house, so you might want to watch that. I released it last night. It must have been for you. So you can know there's a phoenix in this card. You are rising from the ashes, my friend, and that is a very painful thing to go through. Another thing, so I asked kind of what is going on with BD. All right, I got 3 swords. So this is sorrow, pain. You might be dealing with some disappointment, but know that you're going through a phase of recovery. Okay, there's going to be some healing. You know, even though you're going through maybe some heartbreak, some grief, fear, fears, things like that could be rising up when you go through these major transformations. Know that this type of mental pain, this anguish is going to get better. Okay, so just know that. All right. The reason I say that is because the next card I got was really good. I got the Lord of Earned Success. I got the Six of Swords, that you're going to make a mental transition past this wounding that you're dealing with, this 8th house energy. There's going to be some improvement, some resolution. You're going to move on to a better place. It's going to be a lot of renewal coming your way. So I love seeing that for you. So don't linger in it. Try to see this as a passage rather than something that makes you feel a little off, or dealing with that discord, things like that. Okay. Now, I asked what this was regarding, and I don't want to get too far into it, but I did get the King of Pentacles reversed. Okay, this is a guy who he represents the loss of a job, dishonesty, a lot of financial issues, suppressed feelings. Men like this can be stubborn and kind of controlling with money, depressed, things like that. So if you are going through, you might have encountered a person like this, or you're just going through some financial struggle right now, know that this too shall pass, okay? And that you will be moving on to a better place in the future, especially mentally and emotionally as well, okay? So just know it's going to get better for you, okay? I hope that was helpful. Okay. Oh, Risa, thank you for the tip, dear. All right, so you get a question from both of us. Maria, I got your question in. Thank you. And then Salama followed up and said, somebody communicated my colleague from a past organization to know much about me. Okay, interesting. Okay, and then she started defensive actions from people who were interviewed. Oh, okay. It's always good to have a list of questions when you come in for those interviews. So keep doing that. All right, so let me get Risa's question. Welcome back, Risa. And she asked, what do I need to know in this moment? Okay, you got it.
Oh, in such a moment.
Oh, yes. We're all going through it, guys. Nothing from that deck. Some of my decks are just saying no to me today. It's interesting. Oh, that one said yes. Okay.
Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm still pulling.
So apparently you're facing a challenge of either a person or a situation that's sort of toxic and needs to be avoided, need to walk away from that. But you have a lot of inner strength. You kind of know intuitively what the right thing to do is. And a little reminder to delve back into lessons learned, from childhood, nostalgia, the good things of the past. I didn't get the sense of this being threatening. I got the sense of just being like a toxic environment, something really annoying. But they're not chained tightly. You can get out of it fairly easily because you're insightful and intuitive, and you'll be able to tap into it and just remember the loving things that you learned as the innocence, of childhood.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you pulled the devil, because we just talked about the demon of sloth, and in this Pentacles, this represents slothfulness in this the Hermetic Tarot. So that's the energy I got in and around you. This is someone who kind of they're dull in their mind and their spirit. And they bring a lot of heaviness into family situations. They really create a lot of discord and things like that. And you don't have room for that. I love that you pulled the High Priestess, Helen, because that's her way through it, in my opinion. Because that's how you're going to see through the dishonesty, so to speak. Okay. So then I got the Nine of Cups reversed. This is normally the card of material happiness, but when it's upside down, it can bring material loss, which kind of goes along with that Ten of Pentacles moment. So if you've kind of made some mistakes with your discernment, just kind of stay away from that Devil reverse Ten of Pentacles kind of situation. Use your High Priestess energy to see with your third eye rather than your two eyes to kind of pull yourself out of that situation. And I think things will get a lot better for you.
Remember the depth of emotion that you've had in the past, that inherent, innate love that you have. I
love that, Helen. Yes, that is perfect. So then I went to my Mahabharata oracle, and I got Shtita Prajna. Well, when she arrives, stillness will become your strength. So this tells me that if you see compromise and mutual understanding when it comes to that, any family issues that you might be going through, you want to make sure that you're doing the right work-life balance, because this is a balance card, you know, so that everything is it's the most productive and satisfactory for everyone involved. And peace arises when your mind is steady. And when your mind is steady, you can tap into that High Priestess energy. So I love that for you. This is one of the best cards to get in the Mahabharata Oracle. Once you do those things and use that beautiful High Priestess energy, I see victory for you, overcoming the devil, negative, Ten of Pentacles reversed, Nine of Cups reversed energy. You're going to get through this. Okay. So yeah, you're going to be liberated from it. And a bold move is really going to give you the advantage, and strategy matters. So I think that's why it's important that you tap into that beautiful divine intuition. And, but know that victory favors those who dare to enter. So be brave and be very proactive in making sure that you are setting boundaries and you're seeing things as they are and not as you want them to be. Okay. So know that intervention will bring positive results. So good things are coming.
Remember who you are.
You're a goddess, Risa.
Join the club.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let me go here. I'm going to change my lighting a little bit. Okay, make it a little better here. I don't know if that's any better.
If I move around the light, I don't know.
I know. I'm trying to get it so that it's like a little less.
I just ignore it. I found it's best just to not pay attention.
Okay. Well, I made it a little brighter. Hopefully that's better, guys.
Good.
See me. Okay, because it's getting dark in here. All right. And then she goes, Goddess Risa. Yes, there you go. Thank you both so much. Yay. I love that.
So funny. One of my daughter's name's Teresa, and her friends, her nickname is Risa. I don't call her that, but her friends all call her Risa.
That is
so I relate to that name. Yeah.
Great thing. I deal with my emotions. Yes, I love that, Risa.
Yes.
All right. So let me check. Okay, we are going back to lightning round. I know that Sybil checked in. So let's see. And Risa's already done. Is Manor Ranavid, are you here? Scorpio, are you here? Oh, you're young. And Maria Scorpio, are you here?
Ooh. Spirit House.
Oh, how does she spell it? Hers is
no H.
No H. Okay.
It's a family name. I have a sister, my mother, a cousin, an aunt, and a great grandmother, all named Teresa, and my daughter.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Nora's here. So I'm a Scorpio, November 20th, 1995. Okay. Manor. Okay. My question is that my ex emailed me after I blocked him for 3 months. His name is Maz. What are your intentions for me? Then we have Maria. I'm 33. How many kids do you see for me in this life? Which one would you like, Helen?
Oh, I don't want to count children. You don't want to ask me. I have a house full of children.
Okay. And Manor, I do astrology readings. You can go ahead and look me up. That's a great, that's a very interesting time to be born. So, okay.
20th of November,
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and do Maria Scorpio. How many kids? Okay. Now, I am childless, so I'm like, and I was told through I have palmist that I would have a boy and a girl because of like the lines on the side of my hand.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, well, I've got to I got to participate for that to happen.
Well, I was never having children, and I was never getting married, and never say never.
Oh
You
my
just never
goodness.
know. Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
well, I know it's not now because I'm in my 40s. So yeah, I'm I'm premenopausal, so I don't think it's gonna
Well, I
happen.
was going to say, I hope you're getting plenty of rest if you're thinking of having a child. That would be my big recommendation.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
bank your rest now. I don't think I had an unbroken night's sleep for 25 years. I'm not exaggerating. My kids are spread out,
Oh,
25
wow.
years.
That's a
Yeah.
long time to
It
be a
is a
mom.
really long time. It explains a lot, huh?
Yeah, well, and it explains why you're so intelligent too, because you're all of that homework and all of your kids are really like successful too. So yeah.
Well, I'm proud of them. Yeah, they're good girls. Well, they're hardly girls.
And
Shall I
all of
go?
their interests are so spread out too. You got the dancer,
Yeah,
it's amazing. So,
they're
all right, yeah, go ahead.
very, very different. Yeah.
Oh, and
One of
thank you
them
for,
is in Ireland right now, hiking all over the place.
oh, that's
No, I
so
would never do
cool.
that. I don't hike. I would go sit and drink coffee somewhere. That'd be good. But
Oh yeah.
they're hiking all the mountains in Ireland, and it's a crack up because the mountains in Ireland, my husband and I were there, and I asked my cousin, so when do we get to the mountains? And he says, well,
Mhm.
you're on one, right? Like little rolling hills.
I love
Okay.
that. And thank you, Risa, for donating again. That was very sweet of you. Namaste, dear. Okay. All
Okay.
right. So go
Manor.
ahead.
Okay. So here he comes back in your life. And here's the card that defines everything for you, the Fool.
Mhm.
And just to warn you, he has not done the work he needs to do. He just hasn't. And I'm not sure that I would entirely feel good about believing everything that he had to say.
Mhm.
And then I got the Six of Swords. If you remember these things, it'll go well for you. I think it's better for you to move on. And his intentions, we don't know, because this young man is not truthful. He needs to work on himself. He really, really does. Here he is again, the Fool. And he's, giving it another try. That's his intention. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
But you end up the victor, so it's all good. Moving into a better situation. So it's
Oh God, I
good.
knew it. See, your intuition was spot on. So you already knew. Go with your gut. One
Yeah,
of the
listen to your gut. Yeah.
there's a guy, he was on Diary of a CEO. I forgot his name, but he's one of the most recent interviews. And he goes, what I found is I have studied human behavior my entire life. And he goes, and I find that divine feminine intuition is more right than any intellectual study you will ever do on the planet. And he goes, and I learned how to kind of tap into that energy. He goes, go with your gut, go with your intuition. And so your first impression is usually correct.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, for instance, my first husband, I thought he was creepy. And he turned out to be a total creep. But I kept giving him the benefit of the doubt because, I met him at church and he seemed really nice and I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And no, I should have gone with my gut,
Talked yourself into a mess.
I totally did. I didn't listen to my gut. And so just go with your gut on this. You've got this. And he's not young, 1983. Well, that's the year I was born.
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I won't tell
and
you what
then
I was
Venus is
doing in
in,
1983, but it was fully adult.
yeah. Yeah. So, and then she goes, trust me, I'm not believing a word he says. Okay. All right.
Good.
Woo, good,
You
good, good, good.
you have it in you. You go on your path and just let him work his stuff out.
Yes. And Susan, we did get your tip. Did you see that we did your question? Did we Susan's question? Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So we did your question, sweetie. I don't know if you missed it, but we did get your tip. Thank you so
Oh, I hope
much.
she didn't miss it.
Oh
It was
yeah.
about
Well,
the
you
caregiver.
can always
Right?
record. Yeah, you can look
Yeah.
back. So thank
Yeah.
God this is recorded. So,
Yeah.
and then she goes, mine is a total creep. I always knew it. I wasted 4 years of my life. I did the same thing. It's live and learn. They're here. Some people are here to just teach you stuff. Okay. Like I mentioned the demon at the beginning of the show, Belbazour or whatever. And my guy, he liked to literally, and he's usually depicted sitting on a toilet. And my ex pretended to have a job. He didn't have a job. He pretended to have a college education. He didn't have a college education. He pretended to do all of these things he wasn't doing. He was just literally sitting around, sleeping, drinking. That's all he was doing. And he was taking my money and gambling it. So
Some kind of personality disorder, huh?
yeah, no judgment from me. I did better the second time, but yeah, it's sometimes we just have to learn the
Karmic.
first.
Yeah.
It is, and I didn't see what was going on, and now I'm much more intuitive and I'm more tapped in, and yeah. Anyway, so
What's that funny old saying? If you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince. You know?
yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly right.
So
Yeah,
true. Yeah.
yeah. And what's funny was a tarot reader that my husband met in college called me. She's like, you're gonna get married way later in life, because I'm his first wife, and he married me, and he was 62 and I was 30. So yeah, yeah, we've got
Wow.
a big. He
Yeah.
was 62 and a half, I was 30. Yeah, so
Hmm.
we big age difference, but
Yeah.
we were friends for years before anything happened, and I made the first move. So, because he was such a gentleman, it's like no wonder you weren't married. He's like, yeah,
That's okay. It saved it for you. It
yeah.
wasn't going to somebody else.
And she goes, I'm a very transformed person now. You know how Scorpios go through painful transformations. That's eighth house energy. I just did a short on this. Yeah, you're learning a lot. And then Mama Scorpio says, I'm wondering, will me and Flip be a couple again? He was a Sagittal. I already got questions for your first one. I'm 33 years old. How many kids do you see for me? I can look at the relationship because I am getting a little bit there. But yeah, I went ahead and pulled some cards for your first question. Okay, sweetie? All right, so let's go ahead and get to Maria. And Sybil, let us know if you're here, sweetie, because I did call on you, and I just want to make sure you're still in the audience.
So this is about children and not the question about the relationship.
Yeah, well, she's asking about the relationship now, but I'm going to go ahead and I can kind of cover both, but sometimes my cards kind of tell me a different story. Just do the kid question, okay? And then Sybil, you're next. All right, Helen, why don't you do Sybil? So, what messages does Spirit have? Okay, very simple. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, Maria Scorpio. So, all right. So, as far as kids, you really want this. I got the star. Okay, and I think that this would be good for you. But the star is represented by Aquarius. Okay, it's peace, rejuvenation. There's a lot of optimism here. It brings a lot of purification, but it's important that you have one foot in the spirit and you have one foot in the material, especially when it comes to raising children, especially in today's world. I have a lot of friends that are millennials, and they are literally like they're moving to Ecuador. They're actually moving places to raise their kids because a lot of the things in the United States, especially if you plan on having girls, which is possible, isn't going to be great. Okay, so I did a video on Project 2026, so I highly recommend you look into that. Okay, especially because you are a younger woman. Now, I did get an interesting card, and I think that this is important for you to keep in mind when it comes to having children and thinking about having children. I got the Three of Swords, but it did come up reversed. So this tells me that you might be healing from some betrayal, but know that the worst is over. You're going to have to free your emotions to a new perspective because you don't want to bring those wounds into motherhood. Okay, it can sabotage the way that you parent because a lot of us are wounded and we can bleed on others. So that's kind of a warning that they have for you moving forward. And this could also represent up to 3 children if you are interested in something like that. It's totally up to you. But this also tells me that there's some stuff that you're also going through relationship-wise that is going to require some healing too, because you did ask those 2 questions. Then I got the 6 of Cups. This represents children. But it came up upside down. So it's important that, like I said, you don't rely on the way that things worked in the past, our educational systems, the things that we have set up as a society, because those are all going away. A lot of the things that are being put in place for the future, which are going to be in the next few years under Project 2025, are really going to change the way that children are raised in the United States. Okay, there's not going to be a lot of the programs, incentives, and things to support women moving forward, especially as mothers and caregivers. Definitely check out the last 2 shorts that I did on this. Okay. It's important that you do not rely on how you were raised to raise your kids. You might have to really think outside of the box, okay? Because again, things are changing. Now, other cultures, like I live in Mexico now, they have Montessori preschools here. They have they put so much money and time into educating their children. Whereas in Los Estados Unidos, not a lot of programs and funding and things like that are being supported anymore. We actually lost a lot of them in 2008. I worked as a teacher at a high school, and I was laid off with like half the teachers in my state in 2008. We were replaced by cheaper labor, basically. And then now it's AI. So
yeah, they've got a head start again just now.
yes, they're gutting education across the board. And so it's important that you look into countries that invest heavily into their infrastructure. I have a friend who's actually, his wife is Chinese and they're moving to China because they have amazing schools there for their daughter and their son. I have another friend who's looking at Ecuador because they have free college and programs there. And in Mexico, if you want to become a doctor and you pass all the tests, you just go in and become a doctor. Like you don't have to pay the crazy, bills and everything.
Yeah.
So it's important that you do not rely on your past structures. But I said, you could have up to 3, okay, if you if you really want them, but you cannot rely, like I said, on those old structures for support. Okay. And you're thinking of Southern Europe. Okay. Now Southern Europe
Finland.
Oh, they have an excellent education system.
They have the best in the world, and
They
all
do,
of
and
it
they
is
pay those
free.
teachers. Yeah, they pay their teachers so well. I actually had when I was in middle school, one of the science teachers was from Finland, and oh my gosh, it was like she knew like 7 languages, and I mean, it was just amazing. Their educational system is so good. So you could have at least 1 or 2. Yep, it's possible. But again, when you go to raise them, the United States is not going to be the best for kids. So
yeah,
I'm glad that you're thinking to think outside the box there.
yeah, I'm glad mine are grown up.
Yeah, and you're healing through lots of trauma. Yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, okay. So I'm glad that you're able to join us. And we actually pay. We have a gal that works for us from Pakistan, and we pay her through PayPal. So it's interesting that you don't get that because that's how we pay her. I don't know. Okay, so
Might be the area.
Might be. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and do Laura's question. And how about, are you ready for Sybil?
Yes, I am.
Woohoo!
So I have the sense, Sybil, I got the devil again. The devil card likes me tonight. I get the sense that you're dealing with something challenging in your environment. And I don't know if it's work or home, relationships. I'm not entirely sure. But I also got the message together with it. These cards go together. Strength. This is not a devastating situation. It's like stress and annoyance and anxiety, but you're strong and you will be able to deal with it. Part of it, I think, has to do with choices. I think you've got some decisions to make, and you're having a hard time knowing which direction to go in. But I do get that the Page of Wands. I do get that you will choose your path, and it will be the start of something really good for you. I drew some Lenormand cards. Now I have no idea what your situation is. I got some interesting Lenormand cards. I got the storks. These may be for the last reading you just did, because you know what storks represent, right? Coupling up and having babies, but it's also about relationships in general. But then I got the ring, which is like, oh my God. But it can also, you can take it on face value, but it can also talk about contracts and obligations, promises, that sort of thing. So this is about, the bear talks about employment, a boss, a job, that sort of a situation. And then the birds together are representative of, gossip, that kind of thing. So I don't know what this is saying in general, that perhaps you're dealing with some choices about a relationship or something at work, but trust yourself to make the right decision. You got the Strength card, and that's such a wonderful card to get. So all of these choices that are kind of overwhelming you'll be able to sort it out, and you will find your right path. All the cards that we've done tonight, I feel, are about trusting yourself, listening to your inner voice, accessing intuition, um, know that you do have the ability to make a decision inside yourself. Listen to yourself.
That's great advice. Hey, all right, simple. She says, okay. All right.
That helps.
And then Maria says you live in Norway. Well, I actually just read an article. Norway is really getting into digital technology and things like that. So again, I got the don't rely on the past card. So encourage your future children to really get into AI, digital technologies, things like that, because Norway is really putting a lot of money into their educational infrastructure in those areas as well. So things are changing. So
you live in Norway. Do you have a guest bedroom?
there we go.
Love to go to Norway.
And Sybil says, thank you so much. You're welcome, Sybil.
You're welcome. Pleasure.
Okay, so Laura did tip. So if you don't mind pulling a couple of cards for her, I pulled some already. Miss Laura, the first card that I got for you was, I got the Ace of Cups, and it came up reversed. So what this tells me is, and they're all no cards. So I'm just going to start off with that. I got all no cards, at least for right now. Okay, so you're going through a lot of transformation right now. There's a lot of things that are that are kind of on your plate. Making a big investment right now is probably not. Yeah, so I'm saying not a great idea right now. Okay, there's some blockages going on. This also tells me that there's a past trauma that might be blocking your present. Might be feeling a little depressed. You mentioned that last time. So just take a step back and do some heart work, sweetie, because that's what they're asking you to do. And then I got the Emperor, but it came up reversed. This is not going to bring extra stability into your life. Okay, so it's not going to be successful. The investment isn't going to be a good one. It's not going to bring you the stability and the reliability that you're looking for, because you've got some big changes coming your way. All right. Then I got the Six of Wands, but it came up reversed. So this is an unfavorable outcome. This is victory card, but it's upside down. So it's not the best time to get the car, at least right now, because again, remember, I think I got ninth house energy for you last time. I think you got the Three of Wands. So that tells me that you've got some amazing opportunities that are coming your way, and getting a car right now is probably not the best, just the best purchase. Now you do what you want to do, but like for instance, my husband and I, we had an old Honda little Civic that we used to toot around, and it was over 20 years old. And we donated it before we left for Mexico. And we spent less than $300 in transportation costs last year. And we moved to 2 different cities. So Uber is really inexpensive in other countries. So if you're thinking about moving, you're going to lose a lot of equity in the car. I would put your money toward looking at opportunities abroad and doing things like that, sticking with the car that you have, and then the next place that you land, like I'm telling you, public transportation in other countries just kicks butt. And so, all right, then I got the Three of Swords. So again, regret.
Yeah.
Grief, yeah, just not the best cards for the car right now. So you don't want to do anything you regret. I think that you just need to move toward more joy, more peace, more happiness, because when I pull all those cards, it tells me that there's some mental stuff going on, there's some emotional stuff going on, and it's time to let that go and move to a place that makes you feel really stable and loved and it's peaceful. Like Jonathan and I were just talking the other day about, even though like Mexico's not looking great in the news right now, this is the safest place both of us have lived our entire lives. And I've moved over 40 times in my life because I grew up in the military. Jonathan's moved about 25 or 26 times in his life. And I've never lived in a place this safe, and it's a city of 22 million people. I can walk around by myself with Rosie at night. There are women walking around at night by themselves, and they're just, going to and from work. They're in their yoga pants and shorts, just with their yoga mats, walking around, totally safe. And you go to the park and things like that. The police here aren't the same as they are in the United States. Yeah, they walk around with AR-15s and 47s, but they'll smile and they'll say, "Hey, how are you?" in English, and they're like the nicest people ever. And they're here to make sure everybody's safe. They don't have a lot of ego. It's just a very nice place to be. So I think you need that in your life, sweetie. And it tells me that getting a big purchase right now is probably not on the books for you. Okay. And yes,
I got something really similar, but I
yeah,
think I got kind of a reason for it. So I got the Page of Cups. Like, this is a very emotional decision. You get
yeah.
excited about it. Maybe not the best decision to make. I don't think you can trust the market. And I think it's because I'll have a card coming later. The situation right now for anything that uses petroleum products, not good, right? And
No.
it's just taking on more trouble than it's worth. And I got Temperance reverse. So Temperance, she's pouring things. I really sometimes get very literal with these cards, and I just
Mm-hmm.
see it as gas is going to be unaffordable. And
Mm-hmm.
you do need to consider an alternative. And I don't know where you live. I just know when I was in Ireland, it was shocking. I could walk out of my cousin's house. She lived in a suburb of Dublin. Walk out of her house, walk 2 blocks to the city bus, take the city bus to this like commuter train sort of thing they call the Lewis, which not like St. Louis, it's an Irish word. And you get on this train, it takes you to the main station in Dublin, where all the buses, all the local transportation, the taxis, the Ubers, and the cross-country train, all in this beautiful train station. And if you're over 65, it's all free.
Yep.
I know. So
Yeah.
there are alternatives to buying a car. We're very much in love with our cars.
Oh yeah. I mean, here in Mexico City, we've never had to use a car. We walk almost everywhere, and because everything is within. We can go down to the fruit market. There's a million of them around here. We have Office Max to do all of our printing and legal stuff. We've got the bus terminal. I mean, we can take an Uber, and it's really inexpensive. So yeah, I would save your money for the jump, or maybe doing some trips to some trips to maybe look into discovering what areas you'd like to
Where
live
to
in.
go.
Yeah, with some real estate. But we're renting and using Uber. Our bills are so low. Like I said, all of our transportation costs last year were under $300, and that was our insurance for the car. So per month. So, and then like Helen, I love that you pulled on that, because like I said, the Strait of Hormuz was just blocked, and they're already saying that oil could go up 3 times now. And that's just right now. It could get worse if this war just continues.
Yeah, I have this very strong feeling that this whole romance with the highway system, the nationwide travel at the drop of a hat, I don't see a big future for that. I think we're going to be constrained in closer neighborhoods.
I think so too, because they want to isolate people, and as much as I like the idea of electric cars, if you've ever owned one, it's very difficult to find a place to plug it in unless you have a garage with a special port. And it only goes for about an hour and a half. And then you got to find a port somewhere in a city to plug it into. So it restricts people from being able to get
I have weird electromagnetic issues with anything electronic, or my coffee machine breaks all the time. My phone, I always keep a brand new phone handy. I get them when they're on sale because my phone always dies. I'm always struggling with these stupid devices. The light bulb just blew the other day. Just a brand new light bulb.
Oh my goodness.
And my husband says I have a negative electromagnetic field.
It's possible. You never know. I mean,
he thinks he's so funny.
Yeah, we all have that kind of energy. For me, when I get around electronics, I'm like water. My husband's metal, so like they fear him. He can just touch something and it'll work. For me, it's like like I'll get the little spinning thing, and I'm like, this is never going to work. And he just comes over and he just looks at it, and it goes bleep. Then I'm like, how did you do that? So he's like, machines fear me. But he actually was part of he built his first computer back in the 80s, and he installed whole systems for offices and stuff. And so whenever we have a problem with the computer, he'll just take it apart and put all it's just amazing, get all his tools out, and it's just so like jealous. Oh my gosh, I know.
I wish I had an IT department in my house.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I was a Mac user before I met him, and he hates Macs because they're a closed box. And so now we have all Android devices and PCs, but it's great because anytime something happens to the laptop or the phone, he just opens it up and fixes it. So it's like, yeah.
I didn't even know there was a difference.
Oh, there's a huge difference between the two.
Yeah.
I didn't know, and I didn't ever use a PC before meeting him, but now I'm like, all right, we'll use this because it saves money and you can just go in and replace the part.
Well, you can do it, yeah. Well, you know, it's like a foreign language, and I remind my kids all the time because they give me a hard time because I'm completely ignorant. And I tell them, you know, it's not that I don't try, but it's as though I were trying to learn Russian, but I hadn't learned the American alphabet yet. There's a whole vocabulary, and where do you learn it? They didn't have computers when I was in school, you know, and I've never worked in an office. I don't do that kind of work. So where do you learn it, you know?
Yeah.
You can go on YouTube. There are, you know, people explaining stuff. I have to put it on hold every sentence and Google on my phone, what did that mean? What was that supposed to be about? I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. Well, we all have our gifts. That's why we're a community. So
that's a nice way to put it.
Well, hey, I'm serious. Like, someone the other day said, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing in astrology," and it's because I've just naturally gotten it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But when it comes to other things, like I took violin lessons, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so bad. Like I could do fiddle and violin, but it's like I have to do like a million times more hours than the average person because I'm so terrible at it, you know? So yeah, anyway.
Wow. And I have a husband who can pick up any instrument and play.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. Yeah, his brother's that way. And I'm just
annoying. Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah, they're all music. I can sing. I mean, I got that. But
I'm so jealous.
But when it comes to actual musical instruments, it's a learning curve for sure. So
I want to come back as a singer, tap dancer, and I can do it in an empty theater. I don't need it's not about that. I just want to be able to actually do it. You know, I like the music.
That's a skill to do both at the same time. And yeah, Laura, I'd love to give you astrocartography. She says, I'm bored. Yep. And the market is really bad for cars. She's in Texas. Oh, it's hard getting around in Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. In Houston, you have to get a car. Yeah. But anyway, I love y'all. Love you too, sweetie. So yeah, just, keep your Forerunner, even though it's 10 years old. 10 years old isn't that old.
That's nothing.
Yeah. I've kept cards way longer, sweetie. So
I have 35-year-old Vanagon.
Yeah, mine was over 20 years old, and yeah, just take care of that Forerunner, and then when you move to Italy or somewhere like that, you can use their beautiful system to get around. Yeah, and then Venus is like my truck's 19. Yeah, yeah. I remember.
Truck can't even drink yet.
I know.
It's not old.
Thank goodness. The cost is getting up there. All right. Oh my gosh, so we are done. Yay. All right.
That was really fun. That time went by really fast.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. So do you have anything that you'd like to announce as far as topics that are coming up, shows that you're doing?
Well, actually, I always forget to talk about what it is I've been doing. Yeah. Everybody needs to go on my channel. I made a recording this morning. I had a conversation with John Fugelsang. Does that ring a bell? John Fugelsang is a comedian, and he's a political commentator. And he wrote this book that I covered a few months ago, The Separation Church and Hate.
Wow.
His father was a Franciscan brother, and his mother was a nun. And they met when she was a nurse nun, you know. They met in a hospital, and they parted ways. He went back to being his monkish self, and she went to Africa to work in a leper colony for 12 years.
Wow.
And they were pen pals, and they came back to the United States, and they left their orders and got married. And then they had this uniquely ethical son. He's just a remarkable person, really wonderful. So we had a conversation. I don't know, I didn't feel like I gave it my best, because if you know John Fugelsang's work. He's very smart and really funny, and he just goes 1,000 miles an hour. Quip, 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 truth, truth, truth. And he would be talking, and I'd still be digesting the last paragraph of what he said. Usually I can keep up. It was something else. Plus, I had something in my eye the whole time, and I was trying not to touch my eyeball, you know. But it was wonderful because, you know, he's very much in demand and really a remarkable person. And I recommend listening to what he has to say about the separation of church and hate. Very good. Very interesting.
Oh my goodness. I love that. And you're pointing out something from Jane, Venus. Let me look. Did I miss Jane's question? Miss Jane? Yeah, because I didn't star it. I apologize if I didn't see it, sweetie.
I don't even pretend to be able to read the scrolling. I can't see that far. I just it's kind of like Helen Keller, you know. I can't.
Oh, so I am looking for it. Let me see. Well, I'm not seeing it. It might not have come through on my end. If you can, do you know what time it came in? It's not in pops. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, can you link the book? She's interested in it.
Can I link? I'm not sure I know how.
Okay.
I hate to tell you.
You can take a screenshot of it and look it up. Yeah.
School of Technology here.
Okay.
It's Separation of Church and Hate by John Fugelsang, and it was on the New York Times bestseller list. It's really easy to find. I'll try. Oh, well, in my conversation with him, I mentioned it several different times. So I should have mentioned it in the description. Darn it. I'm not very good at this.
Okay.
How do you link a book?
Because basically you just find it on Amazon or Kindle or something like that, and you just put the link in the description. I think, is that what you're?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not seeing a question from Jane. I'm just seeing some comments. And Jane, are you even here? Are you here, Jane? If you are, I'll give you a birthday reading. Just gonna make sure she's here. I'm not seeing that she's here, Venus, but I appreciate you for bringing that to my attention. You're an amazing mod. It was earlier, yeah. So I'm not sure if she's here or not, but yeah, I didn't see the question. But yeah, Jane's great. I had her on last week. She's so
maybe
much
next
fun.
time.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So I have some classes that I'm doing. I've only had a couple of people show up, so I might have to cancel them. So if you guys, it's $15 per class right now. I went ahead and extended it. If you're interested in taking it, that's great. If not, I do have some specials up. I've got an astrocartography special up. That's kind of a very popular one right now. I also have some relationship readings, natal charts, things like that on my site. If you just go there, I'm there. I'm going to be on next week. Definitely check out my channel because I did do last week. I did all of the March transits, and I also did some shorts to kind of let you know what was coming. Project 2026 is interesting, especially for women. Definitely make sure to watch that. And then I talked a little bit about what's going on in Iran. And so, yeah, other than that, it's astrologicaltarot.com, just like my handle is down here. So
can I ask you about astrocartography? Are we talking using astrology to find a place to live?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So I pull up a map and your natal chart, and then I look at the energy of what that looks like. And I go 60 divisions deep into your Vedic chart to determine what the overall energy is. So yeah, there's a spiritual energy around each and every place. Some is good, some is bad. And I actually tested this on a lot of friends and on myself and on my husband's chart, and it's eerily accurate. So it's better than the Western cartography that I was doing because it goes into kind of the emotional impact that it has on you, in addition to financial and family stuff too. So,
I grew up in Southern California, and I made my husband move. I won't say where I am because of earthquakes. I just always had this feeling, and it lifted off of me. Like, it was just remarkable cure. I don't want to know right now where a good place to go is because I can't convince him to move.
Yeah, yeah, everyone's got their own path, but after reading Project 2026, I'm like, I am so glad I'm in another country. Like, it's just the stuff that's rolling out is so intense that, sometimes you just got to love you more than the stuff and get the hell out. That's just
I know,
that's just
I
my
know.
own, everyone's got their own thing though.
I
So
took this stupid vow. You know?
well, I
So
mean,
yeah, I
that was
resigned to it. I
it
feel
was a
like,
big
okay,
deal for Jonathan to move. I basically told him he could stay and I was leaving. Like that is literally the conversation we had. And I said,
yeah,
we can still be together, but I'm not going to live in the same country because I don't live the place that we were living. We had our place broken into, a bunch of stuff was stolen. The crimes just kept coming one after another. And I just went, I'm not safe here. It's not good here.
you know how you feel about it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I wasn't, and then I saw the stuff that I read the kind of the writing on the wall that came out in 2024, and I just went, I can't support this. I saw the World War III. I saw that, I talked about it in my previous videos. It's on my channel, guys. I wasn't very
Yeah.
popular for it, but I just looked at it and went, I'm taking action, but everyone's got their cross to bear and their decision to make,
Kind of your karmic destiny too. Sometimes I think
Yeah.
things that feel like obstacles are actually directing you where you need to be, whether you like it or not, and I'm trying to talk myself into believing that. I did predictions, which I usually don't do, but I did predictions, for 2025. And then I did predictions in November for 2026.
Mm-hmm.
They're all coming true.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I heard something. I went, oh, okay, well, check that one off. I predicted they're going to reinstate the draft. And no, it won't be popular. Yes, it's political suicide, and they're going to do it. And I heard, was it yesterday, that there's serious talk about it. I know.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Asim, welcome. It's been a while. Good to see you. And thank you for putting my website up. Oh, I love that. Okay.
Did I see him in a cruise uniform, like a ship?
I think it's like a naval type of thing. He works
in
distribution and things like that. So yeah. Yep. Purvabhadra. That's the yep. Okay. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining us. It's lovely to see you. I'm going to be here same time every Monday. So please come and visit, ask your questions. And I'm really looking forward to next week. And definitely check out Helen. Her links are in the chat and in the description. Thank you for putting that up, Venus. You're amazing. She's got a lot of great topics, and you don't want to miss those. So everyone,
thank you for inviting me, and thank you everybody for letting us do cards. It's an honor and it's fun. I really enjoy it.
It is, and I can't wait to be on your show. I love reading with you and having these discussions. So everyone,
we're going to make that happen.
Yay, awesome. And I'll go ahead and announce it on my community page once we do.
Okay.
So everyone take care and have a wonderful week. Om Shanti.
Sacred knowledge from the stars. Vedic truth heals ancient scars. Mantras clear the karmic way, bringing light to guide each day.